Hey guys, Dave and Norona out here, and today we're going to talk about the Benno Performance CX Boost with the 500 watt hour battery. Now, I've been using these Benno bikes for the last 4 years, and I'm going to give you a little bit of background on why I purchased one and why I absolutely love it. And if you're looking for one of these bikes, this is why the Benno is such a great purchase and a bike to not only ride but to have for your whole family. So when my daughter turned about 2.5 to 3, I used to walk with her everywhere, but she needed to kind of explore and go more places. So all of a sudden, and any parent will know this, you're putting them in the car and you're going to the post office and you're doing all these things and taking them, and you're in and out of the car like 100 times a day it seems. And it drove me bonkers. So I was like, I want to get a bike that I can take her on and have better experiences for me and for her. And so I purchased one of these Benno bikes, and I absolutely love it. The first summer that we had the Benno, we did 3,500 kilometers in that summer, never touched my truck. And I tell people I didn't buy this bike for the environment. I bought it because it's better than driving a car. You'll have more fun, and it also serves other purposes. You'll save fuel in your car, but above anything, it's more fun for me personally and also my daughter. So when you're looking at one of these bikes, there's lots on the market, and you'll see lots of bikes from I guess the biggest one is Rad Power, and they're mainly less expensive, and that's what people go for. But they do have problems. A lot of bike stores won't work on them. Their motor only produces 35 newton meters of torque, so when you put 2 kids on it and you're going up a hill, it's going to struggle. And we're going to go through all the things on the Benno bike that make it just amazing. And one thing you have to think about is these bikes hold their value. So just like a kid's bike, we spend more money than we ever have on kids' bikes, but when you go to sell it, you usually get most of your money back because there's someone always looking for a bike. And this is the case with Benno, and that I've found. So one of the things I love about the Performance CX is that the bike is super stable. It's got a long wheelbase. It's really easy to get on and off. And with some of the accessories, which we'll get into, it's really easy to have. I've had 3 kids in here, but you can have 2 kids easily. I put a dog on my backpack. I have a bag that goes in the front rack. And so you can really load this up, and the bike actually feels like you're still riding a normal bike, and that's really, really important. So first and foremost, what you get with Benno is you get just an amazing built frame that's super strong and durable and rides like a real bike. And if you're a biker, you know what that means. It comes with really good parts in the fact of Shimano, Magura brakes now, 24-inch wheels. I have off-road wheels for it. It has the stock wheels on. Fenders, it comes with the rear rack, all stock right from the factory. There are a few things and accessories which I'll get into that I add that I think are really worthwhile. So this has a 500 watt hour battery. So these bikes do 32 kilometers an hour, 30 kilometers an hour. So that means it's going to do basically 30 kilometers an hour for 2 hours on this 500 watt hour battery. I've never needed more. We usually do 25 to 30K a day on this bike, and it's got the Bosch CX motor. And this is where you're going to notice over every other bike that the big difference is this Bosch motor is it has 85 newton meters torque. It has several modes. So if you come on up here to the screen, it's got Eco, Tour, Sport, and of course Turbo, which is where I ride it all the time. It has a front and rear light onto it, and it's just really easy to use and adjust the different speeds that you want right from a single hand. You're not having to take your hand off the handlebar when you want that control, especially when you're riding with your kids. And again, having great brakes like these Magura brakes means it's going to stop really fast. You got more weight, and you also want to be able to stop quickly in case you have to. So that's a little bit about the bike as a whole. We're going to get into some of the accessories. So first and foremost, the bike just comes with a rear rack. I've added the utility panniers. These things are amazing and something they're a must-have. So you can see I got the chuck it in here. I got the dog bowl, shoes. My daughter's really good at filling these things up. whether it be rocks or lunch or whatever. And we've got one for both sides. But I even use this to go to the post office, throw packages back there. So having those utility packages really, really makes a big difference. This is the high-rise rack that you will need if you have kids. You can, if their kids are really young, you can actually stack 2 sort of baby type seats in here. But my daughter was older, so we had the high-rise rack. And as you can see, it's super easy to get her in. She climbs in now at 7 years old, and she can rest her legs up on the panniers, and it's got some padding back here. We've got the dyno horn, and or hang on to the handle behind the seat. And everything here just works. These seats just come off like this, so you can wash everything, and they go back on, and that's the seats. There also is, if you don't want panniers, and I can't imagine why you wouldn't, you can also just get the plastic sides that prevent feet from going into the rear wheel, and then there's an accessory, a step accessory where their feet would go. But me personally, having used these bikes for a long time, you need the panniers. You're going to stop and get groceries, take down packages. They're going to have to carry books and all that sort of stuff. So it's really nice to have those panniers. The other accessory is the front rack here. And this thing is awesome. I put a cooler in here so you can have drinks and keep things cool if you're going down to the boat or wherever. Going out for a picnic, everything can fit in here, and it's a 45-pound load limit in here, so it actually is really amazing. And I will tell you that one of the best upgrades that I made was this dual stand. So it comes originally with just a single stand, which I've had for many years, and it works fine. Even you can leave a light child in there with that stand, but there is a lot of pressure on it. But having this dual stand means that the bike sits super stable. And one other advantage is that people don't know with e-bikes is when you move the pedals backwards, the chain doesn't move back. So it's harder to oil a chain. But now with this up in the air, I can actually run the pedals. When I move this, I have something under the thing. I can run the pedals, I can move the front up, and now I can actually pedal the bike, and I can lube and clean the chain super easy. So that actually serves more purpose than just being a stand for the bike. And then I've added a few things. I've added some one-up pedals for just a little bit better grip, and then some one-up handlebar grips because I use them for mountain biking and love it. And I've added this one-up EDC tool right in the headset, which is a great upgrade in case you need to adjust anything. You've got your Allen wrenches and everything right in there in the headset. And then I add a tube and tire lever and a pump. I never had a flat on this bike, but I just carry that just in case. But I will tell you, as far as the experience of having one of these bikes, I'll never forget one day when I was riding along a trail and I looked back at my daughter and she was just hanging on, looking at the outside world, and it felt like she was on a train in Europe just watching the world go by. The experiences on this bike means that when I drive down from Squamish down the hill, I can go stop at the river. We can pick raspberries or blackberries off the bushes. We can stop and read a book at the park. We take the chucket and go walk the dog and throw the ball for the dog. We go to the beach. We use this for everything, and it's so much more fun for her and also for me. And having the e-bike motor means that we can go anywhere all day. I usually come back from a couple-hour ride and then I get on this, and now I can go out all day and ride, and I'm not lugging a bike around. If you want to tow a chariot, if you have more kids or a dog that wants to sit in there, then you can do all that with ease and still get a fun workout, but have a great time, and you're not limited to where you can go. And that's the experience I've had with Benno. So if you're looking for one, you can check out bennobikes.com, and of course, or your local retailer here in Squamish. Corsa Cycles carries them and has them in stock. And we'll see you out on the trails and on the road.